Bet horse racing on DRF Bets. We'll match your first deposit of $200. Get free expert picks and past performances, plus weekly cash back. All from Daily Racing Form, the most trusted name in horse racing. Dan Illman, Mike Beer taking a look at race number 9 at Gulfstream Park on Saturday. It's the $100,000 Ginger Brew Stakes. 3-year-old fillies going a mile on the turf. Let's take a peek at this field. We've got a multiple grade 1 place starter of Cairo Prince in here. Cairo Consort, the number 3, 7-5 on the morning line. Third in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf last time out, behind the very impressive European Meditate.
Right. I mean, I guess you got a better, or the people will like her anyway, off of the recent running lines, Dan. She's run well in both of those grade 1s to close out the 2-year-old campaign. I don't know. She holds no edge on this field as far as figures go, but just based on the company she's been keeping, I guess she's the horse to beat.
Let's talk about the Timeform US pace projector and see where Cairo Consort, usually a horse with good tactical speed, is. I'm not sure how fast this pace is going to be. I do think the 4 Bel Pensiero is going to show good speed and is likely to show the way. Erna, the 9, I expect to be close. I wouldn't be surprised if Cairo Consort sort of opts for a pocket trip.
Yeah, she's going to be up close in here. Whether or not that means they just want to put her on the lead or not, I guess that remains to be seen. But I guess it's good to know, if you're Irad Ortiz, who's taken over for this race, it's good to know that if you wanted the lead, you could probably have it.
Another horse that can be close to the pace is the number 1, Showgirl Lynn B. Let's talk a little bit more about her, because they tried her around a ground for the first time last time out in the Jimmy Durante out at Del Mar, and it was a very, very fast pace. The race went to closers, and she was up close. I think she deserves a little bit of a mulligan.
She probably does. Even if you put a line through that race, Dan, and you go back and look at her prior 4 starts, I guess you have to ask yourself, do any of those races make you want to bet her back in here? And my answer to that would be no. But I don't necessarily feel like longer distances are going to be good for her. And I think this is a pretty tough spot, but she's going to be a price again if you like her.
Isabel Alexandra is the number 2 for trainer Gustavo Delgado. This was 6th last time out in the Wait a While Stakes. I'm not sure if she's one of the horses I would take out of the Wait a While, although the pace was relatively fast and she was up close.
Yeah, exactly. We'll look at the stretch run of that race in a little while. And I don't want to say that she had, tons of trouble in there, Dan, but she did get shuffled back around the turn. And then she was just sort of always behind horses in the stretch. She was racing on, but so was everyone else. I'm willing to be a little forgiving of the Wait a While, mostly because I thought she ran really well in her first 2 career starts. And I just think she's the kind of horse who, at a price, you might want to be a little bit forgiving of that last one.
Cairo Consort is the number 3, 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. We'll watch that race right now. She utilized her inside post position and good tactical speed to push the pace along the rail. She's going to get out with a little bit of run here in the stretch, and she finishes in a 1-paced fashion for 3rd. After this race, she went through the auction ring. She was purchased for $875,000, and she's now with Todd Pletcher.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to knock her, Dan. She's run fine in basically all of her races. Her Natalma was a decent performance, a little bit of trouble in the stretch there. I don't think it cost her really, but she still ran well to be 2nd. She ran fine in the Breeders' Cup that we just saw. She was just no match for those horses. I don't know. If she wins this race, she wins this race. I feel like she's going to be a really short price, though, and I'm not convinced that she's that good.
The 4 is Bel Pensiero, like the 1 Showgirl Lynn B, a horse that might have a bit of an excuse from a pace situation for the last start. That was the Wait a While. She finished well behind the winner that day, but she also was pushing a very fast pace. But as you mentioned with Showgirl Lynn B, when you go back to this New Jersey bred's prior starts, it's hard to get blown away.
Yeah, I think all those things are true. That was a pretty solid pace, though, that she was part of last time. Maybe it's enough of an excuse, Dan. The flip side of that is she was 84-1 that day, and this field might be tougher than that one.
Stephanie's Charm finished ahead of 3 of these in the Wait a While. She did come from last in a fast-paced race, but turning into the stretch, she really didn't have much of a chance. Stephanie's Charm's last on the rail, turning for home. Junior Alvarado will eventually ease her to in-between horses, and Stephanie's Charm will come with a good late kick. Whether the late kick was due to the fact that the pace was very fast, that's up to you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she does finish up pretty well in here, but the setup was there for her. All in all, she got a clean run into that race, Dan. And as we've already noted with a couple of the other horses, basically everybody was gaining a little bit of ground late in that race. She gained more ground than several other ones did, but it was that kind of a race. So while she improved last time, I want to see her improve again.
Have to think the number 6, Anna Karenine, is going to take some money. First time in this country. First time for trainer Chad Brown. 5th in a Group 2. Last time out going 7/8 of a mile at Deauville. I don't know, Mike. This horse showed speed overseas. I didn't love that last race she was in, but she certainly looks like she fits against this competition. And you have to respect Chad with these kind of horses.
Yeah, that's really the only reason that I'm a little bit afraid of her, Dan. It's not like it's a super tough spot and it's Chad and he decides to enter in a stakes race. Based on the 3 races of hers I saw over there, I can't say that I was, that impressed. The most recent start is the race where there just wasn't any pace on in that race, so they decided to put her on the lead, which seemed like it could have really worked out for her, and she just got totally overwhelmed by that field in the stretch.
Navy Goat, the number 7's 2 for 2 since being stretched out around a Rouda ground by trainer Arnaud Delacour. Won on turf over the quirky Kentucky Downs course, and then this race over the Tapeta, a stakes race at Gulfstream for Florida breds. Good trip coming. Navy Goat down towards the inside after a little bit of an awkward start and shoots on through. The pace was slow. Hard to get a fig when the pace is slow.
Yeah, she wins this race pretty easily. And listen, the trip was obviously a good one, but she wins easy enough. She's a pretty good looking filly, Dan. She's won 2 races in a row now. You don't have to worry about surface with her. You don't have to worry about it if the distances get longer either. I know she's light on figures right now, but I don't think she's impossible in this race.
Lady Azteca is the number 8. Javier Castellano will take the mount. This one was 7th in the wait a while. Her first start in about 2 months. Still some class concerns for this 30-1 shot on the morning line. Lone win in a maiden claimer at Colonial.
Yeah, exactly. And she was also in that wait a while last time. Another horse who, like the Stephanie horse Stephanie's Charm we were talking about before, this horse just sat on the rail, well back off the pace, and didn't kick nearly as hard as Stephanie's Charm did.
Erna will complete this group. Luis Saez aboard. This is a daughter of Curlin, a neck away from coming into this race, a perfect 2 for 2. She graduated last time out at Gulfstream, going the mile, showing good tactical speed in a race where there wasn't a ton of pace. She's going to make the lead here. She's very game to hold on.
Yeah, she is. She did keep up close here. Maybe went a little early in here, Dan. You're going to see a bunch of horses start to come for her at the end, but she's going to hold on. This is a good performance. Her debut was a good performance. I don't know. I think she's super interested in here. I'll be interested to see what kind of price she is.
I agree. Well, the first half mile of that race wasn't fast. The leaders tried to sprint away from them that third quarter, and maybe they did move a little bit early, leaving them susceptible to the late kickers. Erna did run well. Top pick time for the Ginger Brew Stakes. Isabel Alexandra is going to be your top selection in here, Mike. You can go back and watch that wait a while replay again. Maybe not the cleanest of trips. The price will be right.
Yeah, that's mostly why I took her, is because she's going to be a good price in here. I don't think I don't think she had a huge excuse in the wait a while, but I don't love the trip that she got in there. I really liked her first 2 starts. So I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to use her, and I'm going to use the 9 to try to beat the 3.
Don't love the potential short price for Cairo Consort, but I do think that her tactical speed is going to put her in a prime position when the real racing begins. I think Todd's found a good spot for the first start in the barn. 2963 for Mike, 3691 for me. It's the Ginger Brew at Gulfstream on Saturday. Good luck.